So, what brings you to counseling today?
Well, just been a lot going on. School, work, family life, just a lot of stress and trying to balance it all.
Anything in particular, maybe?
Sure. With school, just the challenge of having to write so many papers and, well, not necessarily papers. Let me be very clear. Um, I guess the fact that it's a new experience,
Right.
the expectation is very high.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of puts me in a high place of anxiety. Um, but at the same time, I feel empowered because I'm doing something, towards bettering my future. So it's a challenge, but it's good healthy energy.
So, basically, not only are you feeling anxious about it, but you're also feeling energized about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this for you, this new experience. So, is there anything? Oh, well, just tell me a little bit more then. You
Okay.
said school. What else?
Um, I work at a financial institution.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a lot going on, a lot of changes. In particular, I work in a risk department.
Mm-hmm.
I investigate people who are trying to do fraud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, that aspect of it is very intense because you have to really be point for point.
Mm-hmm.
Because I deal with people's money.
Right.
So it's very high intense. You have to be very alert, very effective, very assertive all day long. From the time you get there, the time you go home. So having to focus directly on that, on top of what I have to do when I leave there, is kind of building up. Also, my family. I have two small children, who I love very dearly. I love them very dearly.
Mm-hmm.
But just on top of being a mom, work, school, it's taking a toll. But again, it's still pushing me to continue on.
So it sounds like you kind of basically having some issues as far as balancing work, school, and home, but you do seem like even though you're stressed about it, you're more enthused and more motivated, rather.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I mean, I'm in tune with it all. I did take some time out to kind of think about what I was doing in regards to adding grad school to my plate.
Right.
And I knew that it was going to have its challenges, like I mentioned before, but it's good energy. My energy is focused in a positive way. Instead of looking at the things that I don't have going on in my life or the things that I want to achieve.
So basically,
from a social aspect, I'm doing it from an education standpoint.
So you just basically looking at everything from an optimistic view.
Yes.
So what activities are you engaging in order to alleviate some of that stress?
Well, activity-wise, I go to church.
Mm-hmm.
My spiritual beliefs and my guidance and my upbringing is what keeps me to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in the choir, sing. I'm active in my marriage ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go and do that once a month with my husband. So I guess my religious thing is what I kind of do to balance. It's not necessarily a fun activity, but it's balance.
Maybe is it relaxing? Is it just gets you off your mind off the stress that you're dealing with?
Well, I would say it's a navigator.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Well, it actually ties everything out into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If I might have negative thoughts or maybe feeling down about school or maybe questioning my potential, then that's when I go back to my religious beliefs, things that I've been taught to have faith in, be able to move forward.
Okay. Like basically using your spirituality to basically motivate you.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about?
Sure. So since I've been in school, I've kind of been noticing, you know, a growth in my personality. Um, just making me come out of my comfort zone. I was raised an only child, introvert, so not really having a lot of interaction with others. So since I've been in school, the skills that I've been learning in regards to helping someone in a situation has been very effective. It also has made me kind of look at myself, how I address people or approach them, you know. Um,
So it's kind of like starting school has kind of made you come out your shell.
yes.
Make you feel more, I guess, empowered to be more open to others.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say empowered. Um, I guess I can say it gives me courage, confidence.
Okay.
Um, it's just making me look at a lot of things from a different perspective. It makes you think very deep. It makes you go very deep into your thinking. It's not just your average ABC answer. It could be, an array of things, which that's what life is about. You know what I'm saying? Seeing things from different lenses, different perspectives. So that part of it, I enjoy.
So it's making you be somewhat more introspective then.
Yes.
Um, Anything else? You talked a lot about school. What about, tell me more about your home life. How are you balancing your home life outside of school and work, the already heavy load you have?
That's a bit of a challenge. uh, Kind of working some things out, relationship wise, trying to build some things back up, in my marriage. My children, I'm just, if anything to them, outside of the fact that I'm not spending as much time with them, I'm hoping that I'm becoming an example. I'm hoping that, my daughter sees that, yeah, mommy's tired from writing this paper. Mommy's tired from reading these books, but she's doing this for us so we can have a better future. I want her to be motivated from an educational perspective.
So you're hoping that she basically sees the positive results of,
Yes.
some time is being taken away. She sees that it's for basically an important cause and it will be better for all of you in the long run.
Yes. Now my little bullet, on the other hand, my son, yeah, he doesn't see anything, but he's definitely a motivator for me. Young black baby, he's gonna grow up to be, a man. I want him to see that through it all, that his mother was able to accomplish her goals, never stop reaching. So I just want to be an example to my kids.
So, talked about your spirituality and your children being motivators. What else motivates you?
I think my past. The fact that, I grew up in a home, only child. My mother was full blown depression. Didn't socialize a lot. She wasn't very supportive of anything, that I was a part of. So now as an adult, I internalize those feelings of, being afraid to, get to know people, or just very simple things, just networking. And I ask myself, why are you this way? You have an outgoing personality with people that you know, hilarious, funny, good person. Why are you this way? So I just kind of reflect on my past. And so I tie all those things together to say that the little girl that I was, or, the fears or the inferiority complexes that I have, I no longer want to live there. And in order for me to be a better person, I motivate myself to shy away from those things.
So you're determined to break away from your past, basically.
Yes.
Become a new person.
Mm-hmm.
A butterfly.
Sure.
That's good. Yes. So let's go back to Well, let's go back to the stress. Let's see. So what, name again your plans to alleviate your stress?
Well, one thing that ties in, so funny, with my religious beliefs and with what I'm learning in school, maybe from different perspectives, is attitude. Um, One thing I'm gonna do to incorporate relieving my stress is just my attitude about it. Yeah, this is challenging. This is something new, but this is fun. This is expanding your mind. This is not hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not to weigh you down. This is to expand your mind. So don't look at it from not necessarily a negative perspective, but just as something that,
So just change your attitude, change your perspective.
yes.
Anything else? Attitude, perspective. We have church. We have motivated by our children. Anything else?
Something that maybe I want to talk about something for next year I want to work on.
Okay.
Um, I've grown up with a lifelong set of friends, and since I become married and had children, those relationships have dwindled.
Okay.
I just would like for months to come, or maybe next year, that that I come more out of my shell and establish more friendships, because I believe that's very healthy with the type of situation I got going on as far as being married, children, and all that. It's good to have that outlet. It's good to open up that relationship and trust people.
So you feel kind of isolated right now, from your peer group, basically, from your friends.
I want to say isolated. All the people that I grew up with were very driven individuals. I had one friend seeking a doctorate, another friend traveling the world. So it's just that everyone is so busy that things have just kind of,
Everybody's basically focused on their own thing right now.
yes. So I've always kind of lived by the saying, no new friends, but everybody's, it doesn't hurt for me to open up and allow it.
So you don't have much contact with them now, basically.
Only if it's a kid's birthday or holiday, something like that, and that's a rare occasion.
So, what do you think are some things you could do in order to possibly increase communication? Between your
Again,
friends?
communication with my
With
friends.
your friends, yeah. To, improve your.
I don't really think it's much that I could do, because I think it's already kind of understood that everybody's living their own lives.
Okay.
There's been some violations of trust. So, when something like that happens, it's just kind of, not that it's hard to repair, it's always going to be love there, but it's just, the relationships are not the same. So.
Okay. So you don't feel as, basically, as motivated to continue the relationships?
Well,
in the depth that they were before.
Well, that's the problem. I've always been the person that's done the reaching.
Okay.
I've always been the person like, man, let's do it. And at this point, I'm just exhausted with it. I think if it's very natural, you know what I'm saying, if we're friends and it is what it is, then it shouldn't, especially at this age. If things have been a continual pattern, it's like nothing's new about what we've been going through.
Okay.
So I'm kind of done holding the hands. I'm kind of done being the friend that's always there for them. But then, where you at?
So you don't feel reciprocated?
No. And it's been like that for 15 years plus. With all my friends, I have 5 close friends, 2 males, 2 women, so it's 6 of us all together. And I'm still close with the guys, but women.
So it kind of seems like your whole idea of no friends is kind of out the window now.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not out the window. I'm just saying that's why I want to work towards it, because I know that my old friends, or they'll be there, but the type of relationship that I desire to have as an adult, I don't believe that I can have with them. Sometimes you outgrow people.
Okay. So you feel like new friendship will probably be more beneficial to you at
and I won't feel so judged, or I can be myself.
You say you feel judged. Tell me about that.
Well, that's the thing. You know, as I mentioned, I have a friend that's seeking a doctorate. A friend is traveling the world. The women anyway. And it feels like a lot of pressure to kind of live up to, because they've done things by the book, not me. You know, got pregnant, went to college. You know, got pregnant and got married. You know, so it's like some type of standard or something that I have to live by, and it could be my own insecurity, but I just want to be myself.
You can't really be your authentic self with them.
No. It's just so.
So, well, we covered a lot this session. So, well, thank you for coming in today. It looks like you have a lot planned. Continue to be motivated by your children, church, and everything else. Well, later on, we can work on more developing friendships and see how it goes.
Right on.